Alright guys, my name's Chris Gutierrez with Code 3 Motors. I'm a longtime paramedic and diesel mechanic, and I've got for you today a 2003 Chevy Suburban with the municipal package. You know, if you're familiar with the Crown Victoria or Ford Explorer, Police Interceptor package, a beefier motor, suspension, brakes, that's what this has. It has the big 8.1 liter motor instead of the standard 6.0. We're talking unleaded motor. The 6.0 is standard in the Chevy Suburban. The 8.1 liter is for police vehicles, fire vehicles, whatnot. You might be able to custom order that, but I don't think you can. So, and this thing has 202,000 miles. However, the motor does not look like it has more than 30,000 miles on it. I don't have any documentation that says that the motor's been replaced, but I'm looking at motors every day. I'm working on motors every day, and this thing doesn't look like it has more than 30,000 miles on it. This came from a municipality, and unfortunately they never share service records, usually because they're just afraid that you're gonna want to invoke the warranty on something or something along those lines. So they just said, you know, you buy it as is. So we're going to go through every inch of this thing. It doesn't need anything. It's deployment ready. It's Code 3 ready. It's got a siren, a light bar, and all the lights. Got wheel-in programmable lights and a wheel-in siren. So we'll go ahead. Usually, if you've seen my ambulance videos, I usually start with the patient compartment. Since we don't have a patient compartment, I'll just give you can see that the interior is in fantastic shape. The seat is great. Both of them, they both have armrests. There's a center console where the siren is, and there's a place for cup holders, or a place for drinks right there. You'll also notice up here is for the emergency lights. That's your controller for the light bar and all the perimeter lights. And I think what I'm going to do, because it's got a big command box in the back, I'm going to turn this thing around so we're in the sun so you can see that thing better. So let me just turn this thing around real quick, and you'll hear it has a ferocious sounding motor, and it is smooth and drives great. We're going to go for a test drive. Sorry that you're, looking at the glove compartment, but this will be just a second. And then, okay, let's get out, and we'll take a look at the back. So here is, you'll notice that there's a big storage area for turnout gear or anything else you want to put back here. There is one rear seat, but then you'll see on the command box there's a place for 2 SCBA tanks. There's a charging station for 2 flashlights and a fire extinguisher. And then there's space below here. You'll see there's a tow hitch in there. And back here, open that up all the way. You'll see here's our command box. So if you're on an incident and you need, now the radios obviously have been removed. There is one in here, and it's each of these spaces, it'll accommodate 4 radios. Each one is set up for a Motorola Astro radio. So there's one in there. So you can see the sun's a little bit giving me a hard time. And then there's space for your speakers to be mounted, and mic clips on the doors on both sides. So if you want to mount your radios and whatnot back here, there's drawers for equipment, and you'll see there's that. And I'll back up in just a second so you can get a better view. These are these come way out. It's pretty far out. All 3 of them come out really far like that. Now there's also a desk that comes out. So over here, if I can do this with one hand, Okay, there we go. You pull this out, and that comes out, and now you have a desk and there's a mount to secure a laptop, lock it in place for a tough book laptop to go up there. And then this plexiglass lifts up so you can put it's hard to do this with one hand, so you can have like your maps and whatnot, or whatever incident materials you want to have. You can put whatever on the very top, whatever it is that you're working on. And then it slides out, it'll lock into place. I don't have it locked into place because we're going to put it right back in. And then, bam, it's locked in. So there is the back of the Suburban. Let's pop the hood. I really want to show you the motor. Oh yeah, we'll look underneath. We'll look at the chassis. There's no rust. This thing's a Southern California vehicle. There's a spare tire also with a matching rim. I'll get a side. Here's the tires. The tire tread is deep on all of the tires. The headlights are in great shape. They're not fogged up. See that? And there's that. Now let's take a look underneath there. In excellent shape. So let me pop the hood. Okay. Now, take a look at this. My SUV has half the mileage that this thing has, and it doesn't look anywhere near this clean. So I'm really, I can't believe that this thing has 202,000 miles on it, and it's so smooth and great. And we haven't cleaned this thing. So I mean, if you look, there's dirt on there. You can see I never clean motors just because it's bad for the motor. If you get degreaser on the belt, you can develop a squeak, and you don't want to have a squeaky motor. But it's just clean. So there's that. Let's go. I'll show you let's go over all the everything in the cab, and then we'll do a test drive. I want to show you all the Code 3 stuff. We'll see what it looks like lit up. Okay, so over here we've got a radio. That works. Below that is our our climate control. So we have it on AC. You can see the little button there. You can probably hear it's on 2. There's 3. That's maxed out at 5, and you can hear that blowing pretty good. And then this is our, if you want it coming out at chest level, chest and feet, just feet, defroster and feet, and just defroster. You can hear the actuator door moving as I do that. There's that. And then obviously if you want it to be cool or hot or whatever, you raise that, and you've got passenger side and driver side climate control. You got the rear defroster, and then the mirrors defrost. That's the AC button. So there is that. We've got power windows, obviously. You can see that's very fast and responsive. the passenger side. And there's that, and then I'll show you the rear. Goes up and down there. And then if you look over my shoulder back there, you can see that one going up and down. It also has power mirrors, so if you look in the mirror there, up and down and all around. If you look over onto the passenger side, you can see that one working good. Alright, so there's that, and then it's got, you know, you can lock out the rear windows and power door locks. And then our, you know, we got water in our wipers, and you can go super fast, a bunch of settings in the middle and slow. And then up here is our controller for our emergency lights. So if we go over, if we do this without throwing the switches, it's just the perimeter body lights that are on. This is the actual light bar. So we do that, now everything's lit up out there. Down below is our siren. Turn that on. It has electronic air horn. You can probably hear that. And then we got whale, yelp, T3, and then we got our microphone. Let me put my window down a little bit so you can hear. Testing, testing. You can hear that good. And there's that. Let's get out and take a look at our emergency lights. So you can see we got our front fender going, and sun's looking right at us. The light bar has in the front red and clear LEDs, and you can see that the headlights have wig wags. There's our front fender light there. I think you can see this good, yeah. And then on the back side, which we'll probably have to back up a little bit to see it, it's amber and red in the back. And then we also have on the back doors the Whelen 700 series LED lights. And then how about if I do that, you can kind of see the there's also, I think, 10 antennas up there, so you can still use the antennas for your radios and whatnot. So there's our emergency lights. Let's go for a test drive, and I think you're going to be pretty impressed. This thing's got a lot of power. Well, let me, real quick, before we head out for our test drive, let me just pop the hood again, because I want you to hear how great this motor sounds. I mean, that is pretty phenomenal. I'm going to put the camera right here and rev it up a little bit. Hold on a sec. Doesn't sound like a motor that's got 202,000 miles on it. I don't think that's the mileage on this motor. It's certainly the mileage on the vehicle. I just think the motor was replaced some time ago. So, all right, let me close this up. Let's go for a test drive. Stand by 1 sec.